Yeah, I think we're on.
What's that?
I think it's on.
Yeah, it's on. You're good.
Is that on the face? That's Facebook or?
That's Facebook.
Okay, yeah. So go back to your.
Yeah. I'm not in Zoom here. I'm not even using that browser.
Yeah.
So we're in here.
Okay.
We're in here with this. So we're good. There's that. Pull everybody out. Come in here. Go to full screen. We're good. I'm on Facebook. Got everything else. So we're in good shape. I'm going to back a little bit further like this. It's a little small. Oh, Mr. Lindbergh, how are you, sir? Back there. What? You're kidding. Our education committee is making us both look very good.
I know.
Hi, Jim. Stu, just the guy I need to talk to.
Ah, okay.
Think we could have a ballot open up on Tuesday, maybe?
Okay, you'll send me the
I'll
photos.
send you the whole thing is a tip, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any form at all.
Oh, really? You can do JPEGs and all that?
Doesn't matter.
I think we were sending tips.
These browsers today, they'll display anything, from MP to JPEG.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Running from here.
That works.
To Zoom, yeah.
Jim, do you know if these seats are taken? Yeah, no idea. It doesn't look like it. No tickets, just this way.
When do you want to have this go live?
Go live on maybe Tuesday.
Okay.
We'll have to email out to
Live Tuesday and then go on. If you don't remember, you can send it to
the
me.
day before the following Wednesday. Let me check on the calendar.
Okay. You know, I gotta put that in.
Yeah.
Live date, time, and
What the hell?
date.
I'm friggin' kidding.
I wanted to see if I could send from my phone to the screen.
Not working?
Yeah, it's working.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's cool.
So I didn't have to mess with his machine. I could just shut it off
Right
here.
there. All right. So we're gonna put it in the. They say they gotta have a week. Let me check.
Okay.
Who is he? Who gives a shit?
Start on the 18th. They can start
Oh,
voting.
heavens, Tommy. I get 20 minutes.
Start on,
The 18th.
okay, what time?
At 7 p.m. 7 a.m.
7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. 11:18, 7 a.m. and cut off.
The canned food truck.
So they'll start voting on the 18th and cut it off by 5 p.m. on the 23rd.
5 p.m.
That'll give us plenty of time to get the results now.
Okay, sure. I mean, they should be instantaneous.
Yeah, because that meeting is going to be on the 24th.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday.
The way I think it gives you a couple different options for setting it up. And I think what I've done is you can't look at any of the results and project your fire.
Okay.
Because they suggest doing that they preserve that image.
Yeah.
You know, you could.
The last thing I want to do is upset you.
And you'll send me over the new password and all that shit.
I don't want to see you upset.
And I think I don't know whether I've got the current password, but I don't know. You don't either? Oh, but it has a way of forgetting.
Okay, wait a minute. When John was discussing with me, I'm not a John. Of course I said John. Actually, I want. And when he said about Brian coming, what can I say? She said, he said, she wants to see
we did
you.
is
She answered your
I
good
had the password,
I said, no.
but then we changed it, so
And
I didn't, once it started,
I forget.
whatever.
But I said, thank you for having all my gifts. Remember? But you don't seem to, and you get so upset.
That's my bread plate.
Okay. That's right here.
Okay, but I'm just bringing up the point that when he told, what do you think of an animal?
Oh, it's nice to see Ted back.
Well, it's just for the meeting.
Yeah.
During the course of all these days, whatever I was
I
saying,
think she said
oh,
he
what
was,
about John? Don't forget, oh, John.
That's
I
gonna
say
run
he's
until
first.
he brings us to
He
order.
Yeah, I
is.
guess so. I mean, I don't know.
All right, no, that's good.
I mean, I'm not a jerk.
Ask him, maybe he wants me to bring it up
That is your.
during the,
Well, the general's
I mean,
funny.
I'm
He's got
not
a
a
good
jerk.
sense of humor.
And
Just like I had main bed functionality problems coming in here. My colors are falling off.
Performance anxiety?
And you didn't mention it, which is why it's so
Where are you sitting? You sitting here? Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, this should be fun.
This will be solid.
Funny. He's got a great sense of humor.
so is he the
I think he's more center, but yeah, but there's somebody that's actually part of that staff, that group.
Oh, you don't want those kids up at Christina's.
The guy that's the governor.
She said, you have no idea. And it's been so much, I mean, I had.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can invite you to take your seats.
God almighty. And then at that time, I actually said, in fact, you know, David and Stephen have a war going on.
Yeah, I forget now whether the system does that.
I know, but he texted me today, Stephen.
What is
He
it?
said, no, he's all about 7 a.m. in the morning.
I think Sean does.
Hi there, just got the invitation to the party. Kim and
But
I
if
are in.
the system
We already knew that.
won't allow anyone to vote, even if they get the email, it'll say like the start does.
So then, the members ignored the email or didn't see it.
And David,
Yeah, I
even
don't know
told you
why.
he had that scene with them in the hotel.
Need to,
But they don't.
maybe because it didn't come from Sean last time, maybe they need
I
to
don't
separate
think, honestly, I
reminder.
really don't think that's why.
I'll take a look. I
She
mean,
said to
we
me,
do it once a year, so who remembers, right?
What was it called? An email from Las Vegas Board of Directors.
That past presidents committee, what it said. Yeah.
Because she
Uh-oh.
said,
What did I do now?
oh, we're gonna have.
I-
When we're in Bay in. We're gonna, and Johnny here, we always just say, oh, Johnny boy, blah, blah, blah. That's what they, no one knows about Anthony. But knowing Anthony, yeah, he'll come, you watch. Because he had said to me before, when I went for Nina's birthday, you remember, to Palm Springs, he said, oh, Johnny boy, yours is the big one. I'm sitting here telling
Does
you.
that mean anything when the screen?
No, that, this is the camp food drive. I'm just telling you that the last person I want to eat here is, I worry about you so much, but you think I'm crazy.
There's nothing.
Okay, wait. Just let me get into ours.
Because I'm gonna go and.
See, there I am there, wait, okay.
So,
Oh, I don't want stew.
Your glasses, sit down.
so we're recruiting a color card.
The guy's doing the invocation. Wait, why am I getting this?
Thanks for being here, and good afternoon, Michael and all.
There, okay, that's what I want. No, I know that.
Today, as Michael said, is November 11th, Veterans Day, otherwise known as Armistice Day.
But even without headphones, you should already hear it.
Day, the 11th month each year. celebrated since 1918. This is actually signed at 05:45 in the morning to take effect at 11 a.m. Formal peace agreement then signed with the Treaty of Versailles. Today also President Yost will be heading over to the Grant Sawyer building at 1300 to receive the Governor's Award for our selection of Veterans Supporter.
Now, most of you know that the nation's highest military decoration on the casket. While Veterans Day remembers all those that served and Memorial Day commemorates all those that made the ultimate sacrifice, we remember these unknown soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines today on this 100th anniversary of the unknown soldier. With that, we'll continue with the regular presentation. And Steve or Ted, if you'd like to come up and deliver the invocation. Thank you.
Thank you, President Mike. Thanks, everybody, for the warm welcome. Please join me in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for those who have and those who are serving our great nation in its sacred desire and determination to form a more perfect union and remain free. This is an honorable mission and is accomplished by brave men and women of the United States military, our veterans. May we continue to raise citizens who will be willing to defend our land regardless of the threat encountered. And Lord, thank you for this Rotary gathering. Bless all who are here today. Thank you for the food and the staff here at Lowry's who prepared this meal. I pray this in the precious and holy name of Jesus. Amen.
Jerry Engel here. I shall lead us in the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start.
Thank you. Okay. I'd like to thank all of those who helped make today possible. Ted McAdam and Greg McGuire and Steve Linder for our program. Our greeters today were Kathy Mahan, Barbara Castro, and Bhavin, I think, also helped. Bhavin and Barbara were greeters. Sergeant of Arms will be Bhavin Singh. Raffle ticket sales, as usual, is Marie Walsh. She does such a fantastic job and is diligent in what she does. Our teardown will be John Pally and David Jones. Our song leader was Greg and Ted McAdam for our invocation again. And our scribe will be Susan Ziobro, doing it over the internet. I believe, Susan, are you there? Maybe not yet, so she may need some help.
I am, President
And
Mike.
our photographer, the illustrious Jim Tucker. Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Let's give a hand to everybody who helped make today possible. Okay, do we have guests of Rotarians today? I see a large crowd. It's so exciting to see. Bhavin, are you ready to go? Right here. Great. Stop at Tom Thomas's table. I think he's got some guests.
Oh. Hello, fellow Rotarians. I'm Tom Thomas, and I'm happy to introduce my wife, Leslie, and my daughter, Lane, who's also married to a Rotarian, Jake White.
Great. Thank you very much. We have some other guests of Rotarians, or Bob?
I have a visiting guest from Soldotna, Alaska, Paul Gray.
Great. Thank you very much. Welcome. We have over here with Carrie Groves.
Today, my husband Chuck joined us for lunch today.
Great. Thank you, Chuck, for joining us. We have some guests over here.
Hello, I want to introduce Nara Gagjayan's parents. I refer to them as mom and dad, so
Okay.
they're here.
Got it. Great. Thank you, Rob, for doing that. Super. Any more guests of Rotarians? Okay. Steve Linder, I think you have a guest. We're going to have to fine you for not being attentive. The Marines, we expect more out of the Marines. Come on. So right here, Steve Linder.
My guest is Gail Braun from Pittsburgh.
Great. Thank you. She said they were old high school buddies. Okay. Any other guests or visiting Rotarians? Any visiting Rotarians? I think we introduced one in the guest section, but that's fine. Okay, with that, let's welcome our guests and visiting Rotarians. You may have received this notice via email, but we're sad to report one of our Rotarians that was very active, I just saw him last week, passed away. Walt Parrish. And he was a 40-plus year member of Rotary, mostly in Fresno, but then he transferred here. He was kind. He was always helpful. Let's take a moment to remember him, please. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we have Mike Kudiamont. Are you prepared? Mike is got some, we're trying to get through our agenda pretty quick because we have a great program related to Veterans Day we want to get to, but we've got some important club business we're would like to discuss now, and I'm going to turn the podium over to Mike. And Tina, you're next.
This is a Paul Harris Fellow presentation. Could I call him Brock Fraser, Lane Thomas, and Tom Thomas, please? So this gentleman and family has been donating and giving gifts to us and helping Rotary Foundation. So let me introduce Brock Fraser, who's receiving PHF +7 today. And of course, the Thomas family. Tom will introduce Lane and the other members of his family.
Well, I can't remember how far we've gone with my kids, so I'll guess. No, I don't have to guess. I think it's right there. Is it 4? Anyway, what I'd really like to do, though, before I make this presentation is say where this really was inspired from. A longtime member of our club, who many of you know, Dr. Kazim Fadi, loved giving Paul Harris fellowships to his family, his extended family, and he had a big extended family. And as I watched him over the years give Paul Harris fellowships to his kids and his nieces and nephews, and I mean, just everybody, it was very inspiring to me. So I'm happy to provide Paul Harris Fellowship pins +4 to each of my 5 children. My daughter Lane is here accepting on behalf of the other 4 who all live out of state. So thanks.
Is it working? Oh, yes, it is. I won't touch a thing. Welcome, fellow Rotarians and guests. Today, we are so pleased to induct Antoinette Monroe and Nareg Ajayan as new members into the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary club in the universe. To start our ceremony, we ask that the sponsors each introduce their inductee to our members and our guests, and that will be followed by a few words by Antoinette and Nareg before their formal induction. So Carrie, would you please start this?
I would like to introduce Antoinette Monroe to our club. Oh, no, I have to step closer. Antoinette was born in Glendale, but raised in Arrowhead, California. She is the second of 7 siblings. So she knows what a big family is like, and we are so excited to welcome her to our big family. She moved into Las Vegas in 2011 in a marketing job with a commercial developer, but then quickly moved up to the VP position of the same company. Then went to go on to direct operations for LVGEA before transitioning to real estate. She has 2 daughters, and she has arranged, sometimes bi-monthly, sometimes on holidays, a Taco Tuesday with her friends and neighbors, and will make tacos and distribute it amongst the homeless community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Antoinette, do you have a few words? Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Carrie, very much. I became aware of Rotary from my grandparents when I was a young girl. And I said the first time I came to this particular club that I had been stalking Rotary for years. And that is true. I have always wanted to join. I have actually joined in a few of your events through working with Dr. Michael Gordon. And I am just very excited to find different ways to engage with you, to find ways to engage with the community, and find service opportunities. So thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to introduce Nareg Agjayan. I've gotten to know Nareg pretty well. We just met, what, maybe 8-9 months ago, maybe a year ago. And I thought, man, this guy would be a great fit for the Rotary Club. Interesting fact, today is actually his birthday. So not only is he getting inducted into the Rotary Club today on his birthday, but he's a great guy, and I think he's going to do well for the club. His parents are here. They just relocated. He was born and raised in Los Angeles, and just recently with his whole family has moved here to Las Vegas to settle in and become part of the community. So what better way than to start in Rotary?
Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
So I had actually become part of Rotary as a volunteer while I was in high school, and I thought it was a wonderful organization to be a part of. And so whenever Rob told me, let's get you into Rotary in Las Vegas, once I moved here, I said, let's do it. Jumped in feet first and haven't been looking back. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Here we go. Most of us go through life focused on career and family, but at some point, we realize that we are a part of a much bigger community that needs our help. That realization is a life-altering milestone in a person's life. We believe that joining Rotary is the vehicle to enable an individual to accomplish more than he or she thought he or she could, to reach more people than individually possible, and to change another person's life by creating an environment of possibility and hope. By seeking membership in Rotary and the activities in which each of you have participated, you are continuing on that path of reaching that milestone. It is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout our community. Membership in Rotary is both an honor and a privilege, and every privilege has its corresponding obligations, including, number one, attendance at weekly meetings, a basic method of fulfilling the principle of fellowship, and a way by which you represent your vocation. Second, to perform your share of club and community service. And the many, many committees our club has will offer you the opportunities to give service. And last, but by no means least, is our ideal of friendship. As you expect to receive, so give. May you, Antoinette and Nareg, be stimulated by the friendships you will find here, and may we in return know you to be an added source of strength to our club. Each Rotarian is expected to be an example of the basic ideal of Rotary, service above self. And we anticipate you each will continue being an example of that ideal. You are now being given, that's the clue, a Rotary pin by your sponsor as a symbol of your acceptance into our family of Rotary. Wear it proudly. We all look forward to the enrichment of our lives as well as that of your own by your association in Rotary, the world's oldest, largest, and finest service organization. Fellow Rotarians and guests, may I please ask you to stand? Your guests, you get to do it too. On behalf of your new club, it is my pleasure and honor to extend congratulations to you, Antoinette and Nara, on becoming the newest members of the Las Vegas Rotary Club. And happy birthday, Nara. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Nareg and Antoinette, welcome to our family. You're truly family here. Okay. You'll notice in the wheel today, we have highlighted the Wetzel Award winners. So for the third quarter. So we're excited for the program that we have in honor of our former member and great friend, Scotty Wetzel. We have a change, Bobbin. Are you prepared to talk about the 25 Club and the food drive?
Yes. So, so Susan sent me the email. She said Mike sent out an email announcing that we are converting the raffle to a straight donation. We appreciate everyone's participation to make every dollar count as we compete with the Kiwanis Club all the way to November 24th to feed the hungry. Members can collect cans if they want and bring them to the meetings, but at 9 cents per can buying through 3 Square, no store can beat the price. We do have our monthly club meetings. We had our last one. This looks like a little mistake here. Yeah, we had our last meeting at Bert Reiner's house. It was a big success. For those that were there, Bert provided amazing food, and we had the largest turnout yet, and everyone had a good time. We had questions answered by Stu and Rosalie about committee projects and the Paul Harris Fellow designations. You are all also invited to the graduation party on December 9th for the 25 Club, the week after the holiday gala, and it will be hosted at Rose's house. And we also need hosts for January and February. So if you're interested in hosting a meeting, please come talk to me and we will get that taken care of.
Great. Hey, thank you very much, Bobbin. So our food drive, we need your help. We've got to raise more money for our canned food drive to feed the homeless. And so rather than do a raffle, given kind of the status where we're at, we decided to just have 100% of the money go straight towards the food. And so there'll be a book going around, our green book. Make sure you sign up there if you can. We have
Mike, and in the email is going to have Marie talk about the update for that with the schools as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. The Education Committee, which is 6 schools, is really working hard, getting money and cans for the canned food drive. I'll give you a little update. We have collected 1,042 cans so far at McCall. And at McCall also, they have collected, I have to get my notes here, $355.22, which equals another 3,197 cans, which is phenomenal. The canned food drive is not over yet. We're still working on it. Everybody is working very hard, and we hope to have a great big number at the end of it. Thank you.
Great. What's also pretty exciting is the schools that we sponsor, they're raising, they're bringing cans in, right? So these are underprivileged schools, and they're being generous and sharing as well. So I think that's awesome. Barbara Castro.
Hi. So December 1st, we're going to be planting our first, well, not first tree, but one of many, I'm hoping, at Laura Deering. It's going to be December 1st at 2:30. You guys are all welcome to come. It's just going to be a little tree ceremony, and I hope you guys all can make it.
Great. Thank you. Ginger. Ginger has a brief announcement. Okay, Bobbin, we're getting your steps in like you wanted.
Thank you, President Mike. Santa Claus is coming December 2nd, as we know. We need volunteers at all 3 malls. And if you haven't shopped with these adorable children before, you have to do it. It's the best thing you could ever do. So come and help us out and have your friends and family members come, because I promise you they'll want to come back next year if they haven't been already. So that's what we need. And another thing that just came up really quick, we need sports balls. And the trick is to get them ordered. We thought we were getting them from one place. They're not coming. So we need 360 sports balls. So if anybody has a great idea how I can make that happen, give me a call.
Got it. Thank
Thanks.
you, Ginger. Janice. Back over here, Bobbin. And then Stu. Actually, go to Stu first, since I'm going to save you a few steps. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll go to Janice.
Got it.
Oh.
Go to Janice.
Okay. You're so kind and
I got it.
Hello, everyone. Reminder, our holiday party is Thursday, December 2nd at Green Valley Ranch in the ballroom. We have a band, and Greg McGuire is going to provide DJ services when the band is not performing. We also have, wow, everybody's really excited about that. The band better be good. We also have some great raffle prizes. We have a live auction piece of art, thanks Rosalie. And we have grab bags this year. So you'll pay a set price. I think it's $20 each and see what treasures you have. And we have a photo booth, of course. I don't know if I'm missing anything, Tony. I think that's everything. We have almost 100 people, which is great. It's right around the corner, but this early, that is a great number. So we're really excited and see everyone there.
That's about 1,000% more than we had last year. So our highway cleanup is December 4th. That's Saturday after. It'll be 9 o'clock at our place on Blue Diamond Road near Red Rock. So just keep that up, put that on your calendar. Brock Fraser, raise your hand, please. You're going to talk to us a little bit about December 16th. What's happening on December 16th, Brock?
Coming up, and I'll make it brief because we're still a few weeks out, but we are going back to Opportunity Village to do the Magical Forest. And this year, they've changed it up a little bit. We get to pick in advance what we're doing. So I have our group, however large it is, half of us will be assigned to the Railroad Depot deck, which is always great fun, loading the train and unloading the train. And the other half of us will go to the merry-go-round, and that's always fun. So it's December 16th, Thursday night, 5 till 9, and we'll have sign up coming, okay?
Great, thank you, Brock. And then Katie Crockett, would you please come? I think she's going to come to the front, Bobbin.
Oh.
And Bobbin, we're done. You can sit for a moment. President-elect and past president, you're the only person I know that has had that title of both, having both. And she's pretty excited, but she's representing our past presidents.
It's my great pleasure today to introduce our slate of officers. Each year, in accordance with the club bylaws, the past presidents meet as a nominating committee for the following year's board. We work to select the best candidates who are willing to serve, which in this group of talented people is not an easy task. The good news is that we have so many qualified people. The bad news is that not every one of them can be elected. Please know that your efforts on behalf of the club are recognized and greatly appreciated. It is required that each member of the board attend district assembly and district conference, attend board meetings, and be responsible for one area of club service. I'm going to announce each of the nominees. Karen and Jim Tucker are passing out sample ballots so you can see them. Anthony Barnes, Nikki Bates, Mike Kudamat, Bruce Frazee, Val Hatley, Sidra Kane, Tony Kern, Stu Lipoff, Greg McGuire, and Melanie Muldowney are the nominees for the board next year. Do we have any nominations from the floor? Okay, nominations are closed. Voting will be electronic beginning next Thursday and ending the following Tuesday. Jim Tucker is going to explain how that voting will be conducted.
Thank you, Katie. You will receive an email on the 17th. It'll be from the Rotary past presidents. And so please don't delete it. That is how you access the voting file. And then you'll be able to see each candidate and be able to, be able to mark off 5 of them. So be aware, the voting will end on the 23rd. That's the day before our Kiwanis meeting. And that will be at 5 o'clock in the evening. So you will get instructions and appreciate you supporting the club.
Great. I want to thank our past presidents committee and Katie and Jim in particular for that. We're going to take just a moment. Okay, got it. Okay. We're going to have about 4 minutes to enjoy fellowship with your table. Thank you very much.
President Mike. President Mike. Yeah, we do have another visiting Rotarian that walked in a little late today, and I'd like to have him introduce himself.
Jim Leone, welcome from Florida. Past board member.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you all. Great to be back. I'll be for a few days. I miss you every day, but it's good to see your faces. So thank you for having me here.
Got it. So in the last week, has UNLV won more football games in Florida?
Negative, sir.
Okay, just checking.
Still doing better in that count.
think you may have taken my agenda. That's okay. I don't need it. Okay. Looks like our color guard hasn't made it, so we got a few more minutes. It's time for the raffle. Get your tickets out. I think we have about 32 cards in there. Trying to get $3,200, or at least half that, because the other half goes to the foundation. The ticket for the opportunity to draw a card is 812-4653. 812-4653. Do we have a winner? Okay. We're gonna have Brigadier General. We're gonna have you pick another number. Okay, going once, going twice, going to a new ticket. Okay. 812-4411. 812-4411. Kathy. Mr. Tucker, are you ready? Great. So now we probably have one last card. Not probably, we do. Now for $50 in Lowry's gift cards. Okay. 812-4435. 4435. Now, aren't you singing this weekend or dancing or playing piano somewhere? Where? There she goes. Okay. I'd like to turn the mic over to Greg McGuire, who will introduce our speaker.
Okay, so I heard from the color guard, and they were number 87 in the parade order. So they are probably finishing up right about now. So we will look to have them join us at another time. And I just want to kind of address, as Michael said, as many of you know, we lost a longtime Rotary member and contributor last week. Walt Parrish was a committed member of our club and Rotary, and was himself a veteran. He was right there at that table a week ago at the birthday table, and he stood up, and that's how quick it can happen. So we ask that we remember Walt and all our veterans today as we mark the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. So Veterans Day is a day to honor and remember the bravery, contributions, and sacrifices of our armed services members who have defended us ably and who have helped to sustain our freedom through courage and service. We want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you that have served, and those that have loved ones that have served and or are currently serving. Our hearts and prayers are also with those that are currently serving and still deployed to secure our freedoms and allow us to live in this great country. I'd like to ask now for all of our veterans in our club to please stand and be recognized. And any family members of service members. Chris, good job, buddy. Yes, you can thank a veteran for your freedom. And on November 11th, today, Veterans Day, please be sure to show these men and women in that you respect their years of service and commitment. We left a small flag pin on the at everybody's desk or at everybody's chair, so you can wear that today and proudly support Veterans Day and thank your veterans when you see them. So we're lucky to live here in Nevada to host the world's finest air warfare centers. Nellis Air Force Base and Creech Air Force Base are host to the highest technology aircraft that the world has ever seen, served by thousands of civilian and military personnel. They provide services to both to our elite active duty and reserve forces, as well as thousands of veterans that depend on them for post-service support. And with us today are two of the leaders of this distinguished base, one that our Rotary Club is a proud supporter of through our Wetzel Awards, Cigar Night socials, and Aviators Ball Game events, to name a few. Chief Master Sergeant Emilio Hernandez is a Command Chief Master Sergeant, U.S. Air Force Warfare Center. He enlisted in the Air Force in 1992, and his background includes various positions in the civil engineer career field. He has held significant senior enlisted positions while serving at the squadron, group, and wing levels, and has extensive deployment experience in the joint environment. Prior to assuming this current position, he served as the Command Master Sergeant of the 99th Air Base Wing and Nellis Air Force Base. He joins us today with his wife, Matey, and welcome Chief Master Sergeant and Matey. Now, I don't know if I pronounced that correct, but in the Navy, Matey is kind of how we do it, right? So perfect, right? Our guest speaker today is Brigadier General Pettis, Vice Commander, U.S. Air Force Warfare Center at Nellis Air Force Base. Overseeing the Warfare Center, 5 wings and 2 named units, including more than 13,000 military and civilian personnel. Brigadier General Pettis earned his commission through the United States Air Force Academy in 1994. I know you're Ted, you're a member of, or a graduate of the Air Force Academy, and I think Paul Maffey is also. Okay, very good. He's a graduate of the U.S. Air Force Weapons School and is a command pilot with more than 2,600 hours in the T-37, T-38, and F-15E Strike Eagle. He has flown combat missions in operations Northern Watch, Southern Watch, Allied Force, Enduring Freedom, and Iraqi Freedom. He joins us today with his wife, Kirsten. Welcome. Sir, we are at your service and the floor is yours.
Well, hey, Mike, Greg, Ted, distinguished guests or distinguished members of the Rotary Club and guests, thanks so much for having me, Chief, and Mighty and Kirsten out today. It's really a privilege to be here with you. I grew up in Northwest Arkansas. My parents were lifelong, have been lifelong. They're still lifelong, they would like to say, members of the Rotary Club. So it's really neat. I've been to a lot of Rotary meetings. It's really neat to be back in this environment, and a little trepidatious to be on this side of the microphone. So thanks for the opportunity to come and talk to you today. Ted asked for some sophisticated wiring diagrams on how the Warfare Center was structured, but I've decided to go with just a couple of pictures instead. So I'll try to be relatively brief, and then if take a little time for questions, not hold you too long. I want to start out with just thanks. First of all, thanks to the veterans in the room. We really appreciate your service. Thank you to the members of the Rotary Club and all the population of the Valley for the great support that you give to Nellis and Creech Air Force bases. I'm going to take a little bit of time to try to draw a little connection to Nevada and this community and the incredible things that this community does for our national security by supporting those base enterprises. And then I want to say a special thanks to my wife, Kirsten, to Mighty for their service. You know, the interesting thing is the chief and I bounce around the world is that we drag along a family that doesn't often get thanked adequately for the incredible things that they do to just enable us to even live. I don't think I would actually successfully exist in the world and survive without Kirsten to make sure that basic necessities of life are going on for our family. So, hey, babe, thank you so much. I keep wanting to move away from the microphone. So if I do that, oh, does it come off? Oh, look at that. All right. All right. This is a little bit better. This is, Greg pointed out, say, I think you got the date wrong in this slide. No, it actually is. This is last year. This is in Prince Sultan Air Base, Saudi Arabia. I am the dot at the front of this thing. I was in command of an air expeditionary wing downrange. It's been a year down there. So this is taken about a year ago. We took several snapshots because we had units rotating in and out. And the connection I wanted to show here was not to tout my year in Saudi Arabia, although I did appreciate getting back to Las Vegas, to the cooler climate of Las Vegas in July. After my year in Saudi Arabia, it was nice to cool down a little bit. But the draw that the direct connection between our combat capability that we project around the world and the state of Nevada and Nellis Air Force Base in particular, I'm going to talk about for this connection. It's really, the Warfare Center is engaged in a lot of things, and they run the beating heart of that combat capability runs right through Nellis Air Force Base. Every piece of equipment that we flew was tested here at Nellis Air Force Base. The tactics that we used, that our people used in the air, were developed here at Nellis Air Force Base. They were codified and published out of the Warfare Center at Nellis Air Force Base. I flew with some special pieces of equipment that I had really been wanting to use for a while, and I'm not going to waste time talking about what those things are here, but when I reached out several years ago in a different job to the test enterprise and said, we really want this on board our aircraft, that was tested and validated at Nellis Air Force Base and sent to the field, and I got to see it in action years later in this role. The training, the units that we brought through there, the airmen that before they deployed to come down range for combat operations in Iraq and Syria and Afghanistan, Horn of Africa, they came through Nellis Air Force Base for their final training. The tactics experts, we have a school called the United States Air Force Weapons School. The weapons instructor course is another thing that we talk about. Those are our tactical experts. It's Top Gun, except many times longer. So Top Gun's about a 6-week course. This is a 6-month course that focuses on tactical expertise, mission command, integration of the joint force, and high-end capabilities. We send those folks back to the squadrons, and they become the tactical leaders and the instructors and the mission commanders for large packages. That happens here at Nellis Air Force Base. The Nevada Test and Training Range is a national treasure. Huge airspace. Strangely, it's not as big as it needs to be nowadays with the types of threats we have, but huge Air Force Base, incredible capabilities to train, to simulate threats, to exercise against the latest adversary tactics right here in the state of Nevada. And most of those sorties are flown out of Nellis Air Force Base. Huge connection. The support that this community provides to that enterprise is incredible. And we can't replace the capability that's here. This enterprise is just fantastically important to our national security, and your support to this base and our service enables that, not just for the Air Force, but for the Joint Force and other customers that are out there using those facilities. This I put up as a kind of a representation of how the environment is changing. Almost my entire Air Force career, when I deployed someplace, we would consolidate on a base and we would operate for impunity. So my combat sorties were flown from sanctuary. And really, when I was in the air, I was mostly not. The biggest risk was some kind of mechanical failure or something like that. We were mostly. I had the privilege of mostly being immune. We had such dominance of the air from enemy fire for the most part. that's no longer where we live. We've been focused on low intensity conflict for the last 30 years. We're not there anymore. And this is a symbol of what that, a visceral example. So this is around January 9th, 2020. That's on the right there, a security forces airman named Staff Sergeant Akeem Ferguson. And he's standing near, I don't know if that's the bunker or an example of the bunker that he sheltered in when Iranian ballistic missiles hit Al-Assad air base there in Iraq. And this, Iran, Russia, China, the adversaries of our future, or the potential adversaries, the competitors, hold our forces at risk. We don't operate from sanctuary anymore. We can't consolidate anymore because we can't successfully defend those consolidated forces against the threats that are out there. And what that means is that our way of war that we have known for the last 30 years is changing. We have to learn to fight from dispersed locations, to fight adversaries that can hold us at risk, to fight adversaries that have technology that's getting just as good as ours, potentially. We don't want to fight, but one of the best ways to not fight is to be ready for it, right? So Nellis Air Force Base and Nevada Test and Training Range will be on the leading edge of that. You're going to be testing the new equipment, developing the new tactics, and training the airmen and joint service members whose skills are absolutely necessary to ensure that the way of life that we've grown accustomed to, this international rules-based order, remains an international rules-based order, is not dictated to us by an autocracy whose values we don't share. Here's a couple of things that are happening recently. This is the tried and true F-15, or a version of it, right? So you got some familiarity with that thing, right? This is the F-15EX. So although this looks much like the F-15 that Ted flew and the F-15E that I flew, it is a similar form with very advanced sensors and soon to be very advanced weapons. And it's a dramatic leap in capability. It's amazing what we can do in the electromagnetic spectrum and with software. You can do a lot of things with math these days. So this is a flying computer that has the ability to do a lot more math and electronic things that brings a great new capability to our Air Force. And of course, this is a picture of it being tested a couple of weeks ago here at Nellis Air Force Base. Similarly, the F-35. This particular flight was taken in conjunction with a tactical nuclear weapons certification, which in the European theater is incredibly important to us to have that capability, because it provides a deterrent. If you have a capability gap where your choices are conventional arms or world-breaking nuclear weapons, it gives an adversary an ability to maybe take actions that you can't properly respond to. So ironically, the ability to deliver tactical nuclear weapons is an incredibly important deterrent for our national security and our allies. Tested right here at Nellis Air Force Base. What some of the things we've been up to recently, you saw Allied Refuge, or to Operation Allies Refuge. Did I get that right, Chief? I always screw that up. So dozens of airmen from Nellis and Creech participated in the withdrawal of 100,000 Americans and at-risk Afghans that happened a couple of months ago. These particular airmen are from the 66th and 58th Rescue Squadrons, but we also have dozens of airmen from Nellis and Creech deployed today at refugee centers, helping process folks as they get integrated into our society. Other things that are going on here at Nellis, I think this week we opened up a level 3 trauma center at Michael Callahan Hospital, which will take some of the load from the surrounding medical areas. They'll be able to accept patients from the community. That's a great partnership because it provides us currency and helps take some of the load off the local medical system. This is the second to last air show of the Thunderbird season, and that is yours truly making sacrifices for his country, flying in the back seat. It's not all bad, folks, I'll tell you that. flying in the back seat of number 4 in Monterey, California. So the Thunderbirds, I never really appreciated what incredible important ambassadors they are for our nation until I got to be kind of the other side of the crowd line, hanging out with these amazing professionals this last weekend. And I'll just tell you this, that is a lot closer than it looks in the picture. That was terrifying, but it was a lot of fun too. So, I think I'll just wrap up by saying thank you again for the incredible support that you provide to this amazing enterprise that happens here in the state of Nevada, in the Valley. The connection to our national security is hard to overstate, and especially when you go to the classified level, it's really hard to overstate. This is an important place. You are an important community, and we appreciate your support. And with that, I'll take questions. All right, I didn't run over, Greg. Doing good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate, here.
Oh, hey,
How you doing? Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. We definitely appreciate you and your service and all the other servicemen. This may be slightly beyond your purview, but I bet you know more than the rest of the crowd.
I take the fifth.
There you go. And what what do you know about the new Chinese hypersonic missile that they just tested?
Not a lot. I don't know a lot, and if I did, I probably wouldn't be able to talk about it. But I will say that I think that the most is you've probably seen in the news, the most interesting or concerning thing about that capability is that you could change the axis of where an attack could come from. So the Russians explored this a long time ago, and so the technology has existed for a long time. The Soviets in particular chose not to do it, and I think they chose not to do at least the multi-axis type capability for where you send something into space and it comes down later, because they considered it destabilizing. We have very well developed defenses. They have very well developed defenses. We both wanted to know that we kind of had this understanding of what would happen if there was misbehavior. So this ability to attack from a random direction adds to the risk and the complexity of this deterrence equation. And so the USSR walked away from that. China apparently has not. So that gives us a much more complicated world for sure.
Thank you, General. I want to ask you about a facility that's a few hundred yards down the street here called AppWorks.
AppWorks, yeah.
And I understand the purpose of that was to try and create diversification here in the Valley and around the country to bring civilian contractors and commercial technology, hook it up to the Air Force. Is that working? Is there any success stories yet?
We have several technology accelerators going on in different places in the Air Force. AFWorks is, I went just 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they had a whole bunch of industry partners in working on getting some new ideas to the field on areas like air-based defense and some other logistics, contested logistics, some software development. So it is working. The one example that just absolutely sticks in my mind is probably the same example. It's a little old, so if you've heard it, it's the old one that's been trotted out. But the backs of air refueling aircraft, there's you've got a comfortable place for the boom operator to lay, but we never thought about like how to pay for training the boom operator. So we were having the instructors were getting injured, laying on the steel floor, just getting, ergonomically not good. And so it was going to be, millions and millions of dollars to come up with a solution for this through the standard contracting process. And AFWorks did it for pennies on the dollar. It was ridiculously cheap. They came up with a system that the Air Force fielded, incredible cost saving. So it's a great capability. They have a new associated, not directly associated, but they're partnering unit over there called H2O is the Howard Hughes Operations Center. It's a software development capability that we're using to get after advanced battle management stuff. So they're literally right across from each other not, just a couple blocks away from here. So it is working. It provides us a front door, so have anybody been on the base? You got to get your ID checked and, drive past the 18-year-old with a loaded M16 and stuff like that. Turns out that people don't like to come to visit us over there. So we stick people downtown in civilian clothes, let them walk in the door, talk about the problems that we need help with. And it's a great capability. Sir. Oh.
Thank you. Do you have an estimate of what the economic impact is of Nellis and Creech on the Southern Nevada economy?
Sir, Chief, go ahead. $3.2 billion a year. It's okay. This is a big economy, right? So, but it makes a difference.
Sir, yeah, I promise not to sing any Navy songs here.
I noticed the Fly Navy at the end of the program, Greg. I'm sure that was a typo.
Yeah, typo. I don't know how it got in there. Yeah. Sir, thank you so much. I wonder if you could comment, maybe the chief could comment on what you're seeing for recruiting right now. We have a lot of business people here. We have a lot of people that are having issues with maintaining a force and unemployment rates going down. And what are you all seeing and what are you doing to help on that? Thank you.
So we don't have a problem with recruiting, obviously, for all the stated reasons you just stated. This year, we've met all of our recruiting efforts. Airmen want to join and they want to stay in our Air Force. So I don't know about the other services. I know you didn't say that, but you could say that the weapons school is better than Top Gun. It's okay to say that, right? But I think our quality of life goes a long way in not just recruiting our airmen, but also recruiting their families.
Appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure about this, but I'm going to go to the horse's mouth. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, there's been a series of helicopters flying over. I count 5 because I live just right down the street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they make a loop that seems to go out by Nellis and come back, and they go round and around and around and around and around and around and around again. And I thought I heard fighters up today too. So are we increased security or?
No, I don't. I'm not tracking anything. The funny thing is, man, we do so many exercises at Nellis. I should be more up on current events, but I spent most of the last 7 weeks traveling. In fact, I landed last night at midnight from my latest short jaunt. So I'm not aware of what's going on. If it's military helicopters, undoubtedly it's training. We have a lot of helicopters at Nellis. Sometimes the direction of the winds actually plays a difference in the patterns that they fly. And you'll notice unusual attitude or activity when they're on a strange runway. So when they're out training because of change of direction, you know what's going on.
So if they're military helicopters, we have a racing squadron. They do a lot of training. But if they're civilians, the ECD was in town and the helicopters want to get out there to the racetrack to see that event. I play a lot also.
Yeah. Yeah. And you asked me about fighters, same type thing. There's always an exercise going on. Red Flag will happen in January. It'll be huge. Go ahead.
You had talked about the Thunderbirds being ambassadors
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
Air Force. When we were in the depths of COVID and they did the flyover the hospitals, I mean, all our neighborhoods were out and people were in tears. I mean, it was really touching.
One of those rare partnerships with the Blue Angels where they got together. We usually, as a Department of Defense, we usually split them up, but it was cool to see them together.
Thanks again for being here, sir. Can you comment on the complete size of the Air Force in regards to personnel and airplanes compared to, say, 20 years ago?
Yes, sir. I'll tell you it's smaller. I ought to be able to give you exact figures, but I think, Chief, do you have good numbers on you?
So I'm an old guy, so when I came in, our Air Force was over 600,000. I'm sorry, 600,000. Currently, our Air Force is about 320. So yes, significantly smaller. And I would argue that we're not doing less, but we're doing more. But I would tell you that you're in safe hands because like I mentioned before, our airmen are a lot smarter today than definitely when I was in 1992. And so they can work twice as hard.
And I think relatively our fighter force is probably reduced by at least 50%, maybe a little higher. So.
Last question.
Hi, sir. Thanks for being here today. I think the club might be interested in just a little summary of the Red Horse capability.
Yeah.
That's sort of a hidden gem at NOAA.
Yeah. Well, I was Red Horse is a squadron that goes and does construction. So expeditionary construction in general. So if I went back to my first slide, we were standing there in the desert. Prince Sultan wasn't the first time that the United States had been in Prince Sultan. From 1990 to 2003, we were there. By the time we left in 2003, we had dormitories, a bowling alley, a shopping center, a couple of pools, some gyms. And then we left in 2003, came back in 2017. It turns out that those facilities, which the Saudis paid for, were attractive to the Saudi forces and their families. So I like to tease people because when we were just getting back into PSAB, I new leaders that I was onboarding, I'd call them up, say, hey, you remember all those great facilities we had back in 2003, the bowling alley, the ice cream, all that stuff? And they're like, yeah, that'd be awesome. We don't have that anymore. So we're in a tent city in the middle of the desert, and Red Horse was integral to building up our capabilities. So it's civil engineers that will deploy forward into austere locations and do anything from one-rate construction to facilities construction, building taxiways and helipads and chow halls and all sorts of facilities. There is a Red Horse unit here at Nellis Air Force Base, and they train here and deploy from here, and it's an incredible capability.
So, Brigadier General, we appreciate your service to come communicate Nellis's and the weapons range's capabilities. We have a couple things we'd like to share with you. One is this service above self coin. It has the 4 questions of our 4-way test that guides our conduct as Rotarians. And then we have something we call the Soul Power Award, where we give shoes to needy children in the 6 schools that we sponsor. And Skechers is our co-sponsor of the shoes, and we think this is a great award to give. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Werner, I take it you're making an announcement. Okay.
Before we adjourn, the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation would like to say thank you to Dr. Mahan for another nice check.
Nice contribution. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Bob will wait around if you have any more checks to give him. So thank you very much for your participation today and your attention to our speaker. Please keep in mind the specialness of today, and we wish you a great remainder of your day and week. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everyone. Bye, Judith. Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Yep. Have a great day.
Have a good week, everybody.
Another day, another presentation came together just fine.